Coding made easy.
So what's up everybody, this is Peter aka CodingMadeEasy coming to your next C# tutorial. And in the last tutorial we learned about a hard loop, which is the for loop, and now we're going to make things a lot easier. So what I want to let you know from right now is you can do the same thing basically with every loop, right? It's just that some loops are more appropriate in certain situations. For example, when you're trying to iterate through a list of things, or when you want to do things a certain amount of times, yes, you can do so with this loop I'm about to show you, but it's better to use a for loop if you're going to be counting through something. Something like a while loop, which we'll learn, is more looping indefinitely or looping based on state. So looping while something is going, or blah blah blah. So you'll see how the while loop works. For those of you interested in game development or want to get into some game dev coding, the while loop is the loop used in game development for the game loop. So whenever things update, you run the game loop continuously while the game is running, and then when the person clicks the X button, then you close it. That's indefinitely. So a for loop wouldn't really be appropriate for that, because a for loop usually counts to a certain point. And we could run the for loop indefinitely, but yeah. So we'll learn about the while loop, and I'll show you a quick statement to break out of loops if they are looping too long or you want to get out of them. So the while loop goes as follows. So you put the while and then condition. That's all it is. So it takes out the two first parts out of the for loop. So the first part of the for loop was to initialize a variable, or to initialize variable. The second part was a condition that needed that you need to set to see how long we should loop for. And the third one was to add to something. The while loop takes out the outer two and keeps the inner one. So what's the condition? So for right now, for our condition, we are going to, let's simulate sort of a game situation. So we're going to put is running, and we're going to say true. So our game is running, and we're going to say while is running. Now, I didn't show you this, but if you're comparing something, a true or false value, a Boolean value, and a parameter, you can put is running as equal to true, two equal signs. Remember, it's a comparison. But if you don't do that, this automatically checks to see if is running is true, right? So this says if while is running is true, let's execute whatever in these braces. Now you put the not sign. It says while is running is not true. So remember the not symbol, the exclamation mark. So if you're checking for booleans, you don't have to put the two equal signs, so don't worry. A lot of languages have these because programmers are lazy. So we have these little shortcuts to help us out. So right now, every single time we loop, we're going to get a string, and we'll just call it input, and we'll do console read line. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a check. So we're going to say if input is equal to exit, then we're going to exit out of this loop. Now, how do we exit out of a loop? To exit out of a loop, you put the statement break. Break means as soon as it reaches this point, it's going to exit this loop right here. So right now, as you can see, it's looping. It's going to loop indefinitely. So I put a statement. It's going to ask for something else. Going to ask something else. It's going to keep on asking until I type exit, and then it reaches this console read line over here, and I press enter, and it's done. So it runs. Sorry about that. Somebody's messaging Facebook. So yeah, it runs indefinitely until we tell it to stop running. So yeah. So say we have some code right here. So we'll use that as a break, and we'll say if the input, or we can use else if, which we learned about. So we'll say else if input is equal to skip, we are going to skip over the rest of what's going to be put here. So blah blah blah. You know what? Let's put yada yada yada, because a lot of people liked when I said that in one of my videos. So let's put yada yada yada. Okay. So when they type skip, we're gonna put continue. Now we're gonna see what continue does in a moment. So I'm gonna type in whatever, types yada yada, type whatever. Then do skip, it doesn't type yada yada. Do skip again, it doesn't do it. I'm gonna exit. Now why did that happen? Once you hit a continue, it stops running the rest of the program and it goes right back to the top again and checks the condition again. So you say continue, it stops, and then it goes to the top, checks the condition. Is the condition true? Let's run the loop again. So if you don't want to execute the rest of the while loop for whatever reason, then you can say continue to start back at the top again. So break and continue will be your friends in the future, so keep that in mind. So we will leave it at that for this tutorial. So I hope you enjoyed it. In the next tutorial, we will be learning about the do while loop. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and bye for now.